Well, I gotta tell you, it feels damn good to be back at a podium. I think it's a pretty easy thing to say that there's never been a filmmaker quite like Michael Moore. That's because he's more than a filmmaker. He's a journalist, a comedian. He's a provocateur, he's an activist. And to much of corporate America, he's the scariest man alive. From his landmark documentary, Roger and Me, in 1989, to his Oscar-nominated 2002 documentary, Bowling for Columbine, Michael has combined his curiosity and compassion to bring us films that entertain us and make us think. Most people love him, some people hate him, but no one can deny the power of Michael Moore's work. So as a filmmaker, a storyteller, a writer, where do you go for your ideas?
Well, yeah, I don't go anywhere. I'm a very lethargic person. I had to beg my wife for years to get a lazy boy in the house. It was like,
how'd you convince her?
Huh?
How'd you convince her?
I convinced her by showing her all the great ideas that have come to me just by sitting there. Just the ideas come to you. How can you not live in the United States of America in this era and not be continually assaulted with ideas about what should be going on? It just.
Well, we went through the 90s where everybody thought everything was so great, and I don't mean everybody, but there was this sense of we're all doing well, it's all getting better. And I think some of your stories fell on deaf ears. And I'm wondering if you've noticed a change. We've gone through an era where the rich people have gotten screwed almost as badly as the poor people through the corporate scandals. Have you noticed any change?
Yeah. As you can tell by this audience's response.
Listen, I'm not rich, so I wouldn't know. I just heard. I saw it on TV.
The rich never get screwed. There's some basic tenets of human history, and number one is the rich do the screwing, and we are the screwees. And but that's a good question in terms of
you're getting bailed out when he says that's a good question.
Because I felt throughout the 90s, we started doing TV Nation in 93, and I just thought, geez, we're way too ahead of the curve here. I mean, we're just like, nobody's listening to this. We've just ended 12 long, dark years of Reagan and Bush, the elected Bush. And I can't get over it. I can't move on. Call me an American.
There used to be a sort of unspoken credo among corporate PR people that if Mike Wallace ever showed up with a camera, it was time to jump out the window. And I think you've replaced him. And now it's if Michael Moore shows up with a camera, go running for the hills. Is that a major life accomplishment?
No, I don't want people to do that. You shouldn't. Why would you be afraid to see me come in the room? I mean, no, I mean, unless
they might have something to hide.
Well, yeah, if you've done something wrong, but other than that, if you've done something wrong, you should be more concerned about your conscience. And if you believe in the hereafter, how hot the fires of hell are going to be for you getting rich at the expense of the poor. But why? People should not. I feel bad. The guy on the phone on the plane, he had to put the phone down. It's like, no, go ahead and do your big hedge deal there. I don't care. I'm just going to Aspen. I don't even ski. I won't be around you. Of course, if that's the truth, why did I agree to go on 60 Minutes a couple weeks ago? I kept thinking that the whole time leading up to when the show aired. For years I've said what you just said. If I saw Mike Wallace coming in the door, I'd run out the other door. Now so it's Bob Simon, so I'm going to feel like it's okay. But it ended up being okay. It was a fairly painless experience. But, it's because I hadn't done anything wrong. So I'm, wrong in the 60 Minutes sense. I'm a highly flawed individual with many sins to confess.
How's it changed for you? You've gotten success. People know who you are. You've gotten power. You know you can exercise it in a number of ways. How's it made it different?
Well, I don't look at it that way. I don't think I have any power. I think what I have is I've been given a bit of a forum, some kind of a platform through which to express my point of view, and also to concoct my art and present it to the public. And so I feel extremely privileged to be able to do that, and I don't take any of it for granted, because I constantly am reminding myself that guys like me don't get to make movies. Guys like me are not on TV. Meaning guys like me, meaning people who come from the working class, men or women. We don't own networks or studios. We don't have uncles in the business. How do we get our foot through any kind of a friggin' door? I'm constantly, thinking, well, the next thing I've got to do now, I've got to take this further. We can't stop here. This thing's got to move forward. What else can I tackle? What are the doors that the media is afraid to open? I've got to go and open those doors. I'll do it at my own personal risk. I will realize that whether it's the publisher of the book or the studio who will give me the money for the film will hate me at some point along the way, and realize that they have fucked up in giving me the money to do this. And it's at that point that I know that I'm opening the right doors. If I'm not getting that resistance, then I believe I'm doing something wrong. But I'm not doing things purposely to just make them mad. But this is a weird relationship between me and a corporate power structure, because these shows, what TV Nation you showed, was on the General Electric network. Then it went to the Rupert Murdoch network. The big one was distributed by Miramax, which is owned by Disney. Roger Me was distributed by Warner Brothers. And now this film is with United Artists and MGM, and a company that's owned by Kirk Kerkorian. So there's some weird sleeping with the enemy going on here. And it's the irony of it is never lost on me. And I know why they're doing it, and I know why I'm doing it. They're doing it because they're in the business of making money, and I make them money. I'm probably one of the few filmmakers who can say every single film I have made has made lots of money for the people who have never had any red ink anywhere on any ledger for my work. So for that very reason, even though they have political agendas that are the opposite of mine, they don't operate like you and I. We actually have feelings in politics and, things, that we care about. They care about the bottom line. How much money did Mike make for us today? Whoa, give him another roll of film. Yeah, but he's going after our stockholders. Well, don't matter. Just give him another roll of film. And I'm doing it because through these large media entities, I'm hoping to reach as many people as possible. I do not create my work for the church of the left. I create my work so that we end up with a country that is being run by a set of values and a political agenda that makes, that in the words of the man currently occupying federal land at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, that truly leaves no one behind. And so what's always kind of bothered me about this equation, though, this setup between the corporate masters that put my work out there, often reluctantly, but as long as the cash register is going. What bothers me about it is that I think that they know that ultimately it's not a dangerous act to put Michael Moore out there. They are so convinced that they've done such a good job of dumbing down and numbing the minds of the American public that the public, when they watch TV Nation or The Awful Truth or this movie on DVD or whatever, will laugh, they'll cry, and then they'll turn it off and switch it, to, help me, I'm a celebrity. Get me off this island, or whatever that new show is. And
let me ask you about that.
And that's what bothers me, that they're so sure that the American public is that apathetic, that this is okay to put this out there because the people won't revolt. I'm betting on the fact that the people will revolt. And, if there's a camera, I probably should make a disclaimer that, because what I just said actually violates the new Homeland Security and the Patriot Act. And in the new law that Bush wants to get passed, they can actually strip us of our American citizenship for making such a statement. If he gets this one, Patriot 2, watch that one, Patriot 2. So I must say that when I use the word revolt, I'm a nonviolent person and believe strongly in the principles of nonviolence.
Well, I do want to get...
That's not going to protect me, is it?
Yeah. No, not now. I do want to get to your worldview because I sense you probably have a thing or two to say. But
I like talking about the movies and this business because I think there's I don't know, I've learned a lot through it, and I've been given peeks behind the curtain, and I've seen things I shouldn't see.
Right. Let's talk about the Oscar
that was a
nominated
lead-in,
piece of work. We'll get there.
Okay,
let's talk about Bowling for Columbine for a second, because you will have to travel out to the West Coast and stand there and be nervous with all of the other big wigs in Hollywood. I was struck by a couple of things. One we saw. Tell us a little bit about the guns in the bank.
Well, first of all, where will I be standing with these bigwigs?
Someplace important.
Well, first of all, I hope, for God's sake, don't vote for this film. Don't put me on the stage at the Oscar show on live TV. I think that's a big mistake. I want to take an ad out in Variety and plead with Academy voters: do not vote for this film. It is a critical mistake to put me live on that stage, and so I've now issued the warning. I'm just kidding. I'm not. I'm going to be very. I'm very honored by it, and it's. I've never been nominated, and I'm gonna. Sit there and lose.
No, tell me about we saw the little clip there.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about as I said to you backstage when we were watching it, I figured you were in Idaho. Apparently you weren't.
Oh, the gun?
The guns,
No, I was in Michigan, near where I live. Yeah. I saw the ad in the paper. There, I couldn't believe it, that you could open up a CD account and they give you a gun. The gun is your upfront interest, essentially. You get to pay. There was a booklet. It was like 100 guns. I picked that one out and walked out of the bank with a gun, just as you see it there. They knew who I was. They knew what we were doing. No hidden cameras. I don't like hidden cameras. I'm, very honest about who I am, and by now people kind of know what I'm up to. And but they thought it'd be good advertising for the bank, and I'm sure with people in Michigan, who it's a big hunting state, they did okay with it.
So I thought I'd pose a couple questions to you about what you think of each of these opposite things poses the most threat to America and Americans now. The first one is Osama bin Laden or John Ashcroft.
Yeah, ask me a harder one.
Okay, I got a few more here.
John Ashcroft and his ilk are something to fear. They are stealing our country from us, and I've never seen anything like it in my lifetime. And I just. If we all don't get active, if people in this audience don't think about running for office, and I don't mean you've got to go out and run for Congress, but run for precinct delegate, go to your caucus meetings next year, pack those meetings, take the Democratic Party away from the lamos that are running it. I'm just disgusted of the group of Democrats that is going to be the choice. Are we going to win this? Is this Democrats and Greens have got to come together and form a coalition and get that guy out of the White House? And so, I mean, Osama bin Laden, if what they tell us is true, is responsible for the mass murder of 3,000 people. I knew one of those people, and I want whoever participated in that mass murder brought to justice. And so that's my answer to the question.
Okay, let me ask you again, which is a bigger threat to Americans? French politicians or French cooking?
I think what's disgusting is that because the Democrats haven't done their job being the loyal opposition, the French have become the new Democrats. The French, what is that? How disgusting is that? The French have become the Democratic Party.
This is one of my personal favorites. So, what's more of a danger to Americans, lying about sex or lying about the war?
Which war? You mean this war?
This war.
Oh, yeah. Well, clearly, come on. I mean, we all know that whole business with Clinton and Monica Lewinsky. You know I'll tell you. Here's the worst thing about that. Can I just answer this? Throughout the late '90s, the FBI and the Republican-controlled Senate and House expended millions and millions of dollars of resources, of manpower, of FBI agents. I believe at one time I read there were 200 FBI agents assigned to various aspects of the Clinton matters, from Whitewater to Lewinsky. What if those 200 FBI agents in the late 90s had been doing their real job, like returning the phone calls from flight training schools and protecting the American public? And I think Mr. Gingrich and Mr. Lott and the Republican Party owe the American people and the families of those 3,000 dead a huge fucking apology for wasting the time of our law enforcement people who should have been protecting the American people instead of looking at stains on blue dresses. It was the most disgusting period and lost time.
I was kind of hoping for that answer.
And if I had had your job, then that's how I would have said it there in the White House press room.
Well, the only way I can answer that, because we do have to wrap up.
By the way, it's a comedy festival.
Yeah, the only way. And trust me, I've been both places, and laughing's better than crying. But the only way I can do it is through the excellent research of the Comedy Festival here, I found out today that there is a movement on the internet through a petition drive to nominate you for the President of the United States. And is there anybody here who thinks...
No! I want to live! Stop!
With that, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was great. Thank you. Thank you.
Now,
Thank you.
we have a little matter of an award, so if we can bring Gene back out, he's got something for us.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
The very simple, majestic power of free speech. It's incredible. Michael, for what you've done, what I suspect you'll keep on doing, on behalf of the U.S. Comedy Arts Festival and the First Amendment Center, this year's Freedom of Speech Award.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. That's very kind of you, and thank you to everybody here at this festival. I've been here before. It's a wonderful event, and thanks to the First Amendment Center and to HBO, which continues to be a beacon of free speech there, and it's really thank God for. And if I were president, there'd be free HBO in every home. So thank you very much. Go out and raise some hell. Thank you.